G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here once again on Dry Arabia. Old Faithful is back and we're about to witness a matchup I don't think I've seen before, at least not in a while. It's been some time. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the color purple, playing as the Juicy Legacy, we've got Divine DFP. And on the north side of the map in the color orange, playing as the Delhi Sultanate, we've got Zerty, who I'm 99% sure is Zertan, but I'm not 100% sure, so I just want to clarify that. But I'm probably just going to be calling him Zertan for this game. But if it's not, if Zertan and Zerty are different people, please let me know, because it seems like it's probably the same guy. Anyway, welcome. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you hit that like button on the video. Just reminding you because, well, if I don't remind you, you probably won't do it. Now, my question is, for this game, how does Divine look to play this? Zertan is on the Delhi Sultanate, a civilization at the moment that's pretty damn good. Able to take all three sacred sites in the feudal age, leverage that gold advantage to get them into the castle age, inevitably snipe away all these relics because they've got those wonderful scholars that they've built up in the feudal age, and then further leverage that to victory, whether that be through the form of military dominance in the usage of, say, a lancer or two, or an elephant or two, or whether that be for a sacred victory through the use of keeps on the sacred sites, or an economic victory. Another way that we've seen them do it is to go for, instead of the Temple of Victory, going for the Dome of the Faith, and then looking to try and utilize a whole bunch of scholars to boost your production speeds way up, not just your research speeds as well. So that is an option for Zertan. But the question in my mind is, how does Divine look to play this? Because naturally, he's going to be facing aggression early on. Well, not necessarily aggression in the sense that he'll be worried about losing his gold or losing his stone, but more aggression in the sense that he needs to do something. He needs to get out onto the map. He needs to make sure that he's got units out early on in this game. And that's not how Divine likes to play. If you guys have seen Divine games before, he loves to do one thing and one thing only, and that is fast Imperial. Is he going to do it today, though? That is the question on my mind. I don't think he will. I reckon, you know, when I was testing the Juicy Legacy back when it originally came out, the timing I was getting was 5 minutes and 10 seconds. That's 5 minutes and 10 seconds to do a Song Dynasty and a second TC. From there, I could then go into whatever I needed to do, whether that be the Zhuganoo together with Horsemen or Spearmen. But 5 minutes 10 was my baseline. And Divine's pretty good when it comes to the macro side of things. But one thing to note is he's going for a very early wheelbarrow. And this is not something that I recommend with the Juicy Legacy. We'll get into that a little bit later. Mainly because I just want to ask that question of, is this a matchup where he can potentially get away with going into the second TC and then still somehow managing to hold on against these three sacred sites? I'm curious to see if it happens, because I remember back in the day watching him on the English, he would go for a 3 TC opening into a white tower, and then would just simply kill the opponent in the castle age. There was nothing that they could do. He had the economy to outgather them, I guess you could probably say. He could just outboom and then out-military the opponent, and that was it. That was all she wrote. So perhaps that's the angle that he looks to apply here. But Meditation Gardens going down in the back of the base. Still villages on gold, which to me indicates we're going to see that Song Dynasty. Probably not going to be seeing a fast castle. You'd probably be a little bit stressed to go fast castle. I mean, you could probably snipe a couple relics away, but I don't know how you're going to contest the sacred sites if you go for the fast castle. The main thing is you just want to be getting out of the gates against the Delhi Sultanate. You don't want to get them, or don't want to let them get that big military lead, because once it sticks around, it stays around. Anyway, we're right on board with Zertan as that age up is about to come through. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing, as it is going to be the Tower of Victory that comes through now. No real surprise there, though we have seen the Dome of the Faith coming out, I say recently, but I mean the last time at least the last time I remember it, was that, and I know that we saw it since then, but the one game that sticks in my mind is that game that we watched Louis MT. I think he was playing against the Rus on Highview, and he managed to go, he went 2 TC Delhi with the Dome of the Faith, and it was just something else. It was really just a pleasure to watch. I'm pretty sure he went fast Imperial in that game. So there are some fast Imperials that have been going on for quite a while now, but looks like it's going to be a pretty passive opening coming out here from Zerty. It's just going to be a blacksmith to start us off with. Not going to be looking for that very quick stable that we so often see coming out from the Delhi Sultanate. Now, he's about to cross that threshold for the next production facility, and it is going to be the stable to follow it up. So not going to be going into the second blacksmith. We have seen before players opt for a double blacksmith or double mosque opening. Not going to be the case here. Moving into the stable. Definitely the right call here. We'll be able to get onto the map and be aggressive. And here you can see, look how delayed we've got Divine on this second TC. And this all just goes back to having that early wheelbarrow. I wanted to talk about this. There's a couple of reasons why I'm against this. But number one is it reduces the amount of tax that you get. So for every trip the villager makes and drops off at the mill, you get 1 tax. That's it. Even if you've got wheelbarrow, that's still 1 tax. It's not 1.5 tax, it's 1 tax. You can drop off a boar at the, or like you can be gathering the boar and drop it off at the mill. It's still 1 tax. It's not a percentage-based thing. It's just, you know, you drop off 10 food and that's it. Or you drop off, it goes the other way. You drop off 1 food, you get 1 tax. And I actually do remember watching a game from 3DB where he was exploiting that. I don't know if exploiting is the right word in the context of B, because I don't mean it in that context, but he was utilizing that. And I remember, I don't think it really caught on, because I don't think it's that effective, because you do delay your gathering quite a bit when you do it. But he was force dropping off his villagers quite often. He would just, you know, gather 3 food. I think the trick is you go up to 5 food, because then you get the extra 20% from the Imperial official. But you also get the tax. So it's basically like doubling your tax, which is a pretty cool way to utilize it. But looks like this has not only delayed his tax, but it will also delay his second town center, with quite a late town center coming out from Divine. Definitely not as fast as the fastest TCs, we'll say that much. Though there have been some nerfs to the Song Dynasty. Most notably, we are now a slightly more expensive town center. Instead of that 240 wood, you're now paying 280. So there is that to consider, but that's the main factor here when it comes to the nerf. I guess realistically, there was a couple of other things like the meditation gardens, which we haven't even really checked in with just yet. But look, the numbers are still pretty good. 25, 25. Yeah, it's a little bit over 100. So to be honest, the numbers have definitely come down quite a bit. I mean, before the nerf, you would have been looking at, you know, 120, 130 probably down here. And now that's down to, well, a little bit over 100. So definitely a reasonable nerf here. Immediately after that second TC is thrown down, the barracks will be thrown down. We can see he straight away opts for the spearman. Now, the question for me is, how quickly does Zertan look to take these sacred sites? He's already got archers moving out to the middle of the map. I'd love to see walls starting to come up for him, but Sanctity is a little bit late here. You can see it's going to be around the 8-minute mark, so nowhere near as quick as we did see players like Lucifron, who do a really good job of making sure that they are capturing all 3 sacred sites at the same time, and they're getting that round about 7-minute capture beginning. That is the most important timing for it. It looks like this scholar's actually off the sacred site. There we go. He fixes it up. Second one coming out over towards the west side. East side sacred site will be uncontested for the moment, but expect very quickly for Zertan to be moving over towards that eastern side. Now beginning to take the resources on the map. One of the key things to do when you've got map control like you do here as the Delhi Sultanate is to take those resources out on the map. No matter where they are, they're all yours. So all of those deer, all those berries out there, go and grab them, because, hey, you might as well. All right, sacred site number 1 has been captured. Walls are beginning to come up in the middle of the map. Definitely the right call coming out from Zertan. Over on the west side, the next sacred site is also being taken. Keep in mind, he's got absolutely no gold collection that's coming through. The only gold he's collected were for those 2 scholars. That is absolutely it. Nothing else. Well, I mean, technically it's just the 1 scholar, and I guess also the age up, we could probably consider that. But everything else, it's just wood and food. That's all he's gathering right now. 13 on food. There was, what was it, 12? 18 on wood. That's a lot of villagers. 19 on wood. Dude, that is a lot of villagers on wood. Ghazi Raiders now together with the scout looking to do a bit of sieging down here on the south side. The bug has been fixed up with the meditation gardens, so you can actually kill the meditation gardens now and not risk hurting your own cause through. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but there was the double bonus. Basically, if you took down a meditation gardens and then it was repaired, what would happen is the bonus that you would get from the meditation gardens would double after it had been repaired back to full. So that was always something to watch out for, taking down an opponent's meditation gardens. But 3 sacred sites taken. Zertan now will be looking for a potential castle age. It could be an option for him, and this is something that he's going to need to gauge, okay? Because there are 2 different ways that you can play it. The Lucifron Vortex way, which in my opinion is the best way to play it, where you just basically 3 sacred sites immediately, rush up to castle for lancers, men-at-arms. Really, really strong. He's going to need to gauge how many units he sees from his opponent here as to whether he sticks around in the feudal age. One of the common strategies we see against civilizations like the Ottomans is where they prioritize getting out a lot of units in the feudal age just because of the Ottomans and how well they can build up around this 10-minute mark, 10, 11, 12-minute mark. When they've got that meta out, it's quite common that we will see them build up a significant amount. But you can see that with regard to the gold in the bank, he's not looking to spend it on scholars, which leads me to believe he is probably going to be thinking about going to castle age. We'll need to transition quite a few of these villages, though, over to a secondary food source. I'd love to see him up on these berries in the back. That would help him out quite a bit, because at the moment he's got 17 archers, and you probably don't need 17 archers if you're a man just making, or 17, yeah, sorry, 17 archers? Yeah, 17 archers. You probably don't need 19 villagers on wood if you're just making a whole bunch of archers. But 2 TC for the moment for Zertan. No third T, or for Divine rather. No third TC just out just yet. I see the 2 here. That's going to be it. And now losing out the outpost on the front means the stone is exposed, but not a huge issue for him. He's got that secondary stone in the bank. Keep that in mind. I say in the bank. I mean, technically it is in the bank, but it's also in the back of the base. Looking to throw down an archery range on the front. Keep in mind, space in the base is something we need to be very cautious of when we are playing as the Juicy Legacy, just because our big farming economy does take up a lot of space, and we have to be very aware of where we place our buildings. So naturally, you want to be placing those ranges, those barracks towards the front of the base, just to make sure that they're not going to be interfering with any potential farms that we may want to put down. But he's got a nice little block back here, so should be able to add to that without too much of an issue. But have a look at this. Divine, he's outnumbered by an absolute country mile right now. The Ghazi Raiders will begin to siege down this barracks on the front. And to be honest, this is all you really want. I mean, you could go for this secondary town center here because it is exposed, but no battering ram is going to mean it's quite difficult. The Ghazi Raiders diving underneath the town center, a bit of a questionable decision if I'm honest with you. I don't really like this at all. The Zhukanu have got a beautiful little pocket that they can fight out of. 2 TCs firing down on the units as well, but it looks like Zertan's going to commit to it. I'm a little bit curious as to why. He's got the extra attack speed for the archers, not to mention +1 ranged armor, +1 ranged attack. Those upgrades are through on the other side as well. And look at the control coming out from Divine, the patience here. Just keeping the spearmen back just to make sure that he doesn't lose them in the event that he may need them when these Ghazi Raiders do come through. And you can see right now, 100% Zertan makes the wrong decision. In my mind, he should have just gone castle. Just go comfortable castle age and look to kill your opponent, not with kindness, probably with elephants in the castle age. To me, that just seemed like a slam dunk case. But Zertan's just given away a huge advantage that he had, because now, if he goes castle age, there is a risk that he loses sacred sites. And it's okay to lose sacred sites. Just the problem is if that's the way that you're looking to play, if you're looking to leverage those sacred sites and their power, if you're looking to, as an example, go for a sacred victory in 6 minutes and 25 seconds, you're going to need that army to defend you while you make the jump to keeps, while you make the jump to getting those defensive positions in play. But now looking to extend out this life cycle a little bit. What he's doing here is looking to distract the opponent, pull him away from those sacred sites. That's what he wants to do. He wants to say, hey, bring your army back over here towards the west side where I can see them. Make sure that they're not thinking about pushing up the middle. I don't want that right now. What I want you to just stay in your base, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull you over here. And there he does it. Now he walks away. He knew exactly what the response would be, but at least now he knows, okay, there's that's where the military is. He's not thinking about pushing out for the moment. You could also expect to see the same thing over on the other side. We'll have to wait and see whether he goes for it. But so far, Zertan doing the right thing after losing that fight. But to be honest, that was just really not a good fight to take. Ideally, should have just gone for the barracks. If you want to commit to the second town center, you can go for it. You're probably going to need to call rams, but after the ram nerfs against the Juicy Legacy, do you really want to test that? Probably not. I would not be testing rams against the Juicy Legacy at the moment. Rams are just... yeah, the numbers are, they just don't stack up for me, right? You got 40 Zhukanu, they're firing 120 damage at your ram that's got less than 350 health. They're going to get 3 shot by the Zhukanu. But now the Ghazi Raider's going to be looking to come out. He's only got 5 spears on the field. Divine might be in a little bit of trouble as he gets a little bit too big for his boots. Trying his luck moving out of the base, but it's not going to go well for him. Continuing to kite backwards, we do see the spears make their way to the front, but he's not even focusing them down, focusing the scout down instead out of everything. Zhukanu are able to slowly but steadily whittle down those cavalry units, and we see that their numbers have fallen. The archers on the back line are looking good, but have a look at this. He's managed to preserve the majority of his economy. He hasn't lost many villagers. Only the one villager that's gone down so far. I don't even remember where I saw it go down, but once again, able to hold. The longer he holds, the better it gets for him. But remember, he is on a timer, but it's only a matter of time until he just absolutely puts down production facilities, throws Imperial officials on it and goes ham with them. He's still got 4 minutes to go. Normally around the 3-minute mark is when you want to do that. So essentially what you want to do, throw down all your production facilities, just how he's doing like this. Imperial official, you switch them over from your drop-off or your resource buildings, and you switch them onto the archery ranges, and then that way your production just basically goes into overdrive. Speaking of overdrive, let's check in with the economies, see how they're doing. We're at 1.8, 2.2, roughly 2.3k economy for Divine on the other side. Looks like a similar number, in fact, almost identical number, 2.3 to 2.4k. We do have a landmark going up in that north side of the map, though. It's going to be the compound of the defender. I would have loved to have seen this 5 minutes ago. It would have given Zertan a huge advantage because he'd have all of this positional power out in the middle of the map. And you got to keep in mind, that's exactly where the Delhi want to fight. They want you to come out over towards their palisade walls where they can box you in up against them, and it means that you can really try and pincer them. And unfortunately, he didn't really look into that. What have we got, though, coming through? It looks like we've got veterancy for Ghazi Raiders, veterancy for archers. We've got balanced projectiles going to be coming through as well. Not a whole lot of scholars out on the field at the moment. Only 3, one of which is in the archery range, another one in the other archery range, or rather in the stable. Third one probably out here picking up relics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relics back here. And now that push is going to come. And this is what we were talking about. Now, I'm expecting to see a whole bunch of production. There you go. Imperial Official number 1. Imperial Official number 2 is here. Imperial Official number 3 is on the blacksmith still. Yet to move it over. And we are full pumping right now. He is just absolutely all in on denying this sacred site. And this is 100% the right play because the Lancers are about to come out. Once the Lancers are online, that's when you're going to have trouble. So you need to deny the sacred site almost as soon as that castle age happens. You got to go. And there's the first of the Lancers. A couple spears. Going to be looking to come through. Just jumping onto the sacred site instead. He's not even thinking about moving in towards those Lancers. Second Lancer now coming out as well. And the Zhugunu are doing a pretty decent job of just dealing with the cavalry at the moment. Keep in mind the archers are pretty much matched 1 for 1 here by the Zhugunu. I take it back. They're outnumbered by 10. And that's going to mean that this central sacred site should be pretty easily dealt with. But hold your horses, as the enemy cavalry has just joined the battle. And now we've got ourselves a little bit of a to and fro out here as the sacred sites still remain in the possession of Zertan. 2 minutes to go until potential sacred defeat. He looks to clean up the last Lancer. And now the remnants of these archers are in trouble. Second set of Lancers once again coming out. He's throwing down a keep in the middle of the map. Archers teeing off towards the spears. Should be able to pick them off. As long as he doesn't bring them over towards this west corner, all the spears will go down. Scout now moving out onto the sacred site as well. Archers are holding. They know that if this keep stays alive, or rather gets up, it's going to be trouble to be able to take it. Now the Zhugunu move forward, and you can see it's just a little bit too late coming out from Zertan. He's going to try and commit to the keep, but Lord Dowd appears to be smiling as the villager count continues to dwindle. 4 villagers, 3 villagers, 2 villagers, 1 villager remains. He's lost absolutely everything, and we're up to 17 worker kills for Divine DFP. 18 minutes into this game, it has just gone so terribly for Zertan here. How can he possibly get out of this mess? How can he possibly find a way back into this game? It is a terrible position to be in right now as the Zhugunu. I mean, this is something that we have not really seen before from Divine DFP. An absolute feudal age all-in coming through from the guy who loves to fast Imperial. You better believe that if you were playing against this guy, you thought you were going to get a fast Imperial. Not the case today, Zertan. Unfortunately for him, things are not going well, but hold your horses. We've held them once before, and we're going to hold them again because we've got 3 knights or 3 lancers on the sacred site that are holding it on. 1 minute and 39 seconds, by the way. The keep firing down towards the center. We'll be able to pick off all of the spears coming through. More lancers looking to try and clean this up, but you are just rallying in non-stop units. He's got full production back here. Imperial officials still working overdrive. He's only got the 1 out there at the moment. Everybody else, you can see he's got archery ranges on the backside as well. Still pumping towards the middle, and the Zhugunu. Well, now I'm just starting to question, is this unit too good? Oh, are we talking about a unit that might be too strong here? He's gone 2 TC, stayed in feudal, and just pumping units into 100% Lancer. And I think the big problem here is that Zertan hasn't been able to build up that mass. What you love to see is that big mass of Lancers. Even 5, 6 Lancers is enough to do it. And there we go. This could be it. You can see the numbers starting to come through, but he's under siege over on the west side. Divine DFP has realized, hold on a minute, what if I just send some villagers over towards this west sacred site? So naturally the response from Zertan's going to be, well, I'll just send a Lancer over there. Outpost is coming. Divine's thought about it. Villagers might be thinking about throwing down a keep. Unfortunately, not enough resources in the bank for it. They're going to begin moving out towards the gold on the west side as the Lancers do indeed clean up the middle. We can talk all day about that critical mass and how important it was, but a single Lancer in the middle here could be what turns the tide of battle here. Having the villagers is just going to mean that they're able to tank up a little bit more hits, and that Lancer is just going to be getting out this damage non-stop. He is holding that sacred site on the timer. Keep that in mind that we are at a minute 17 at the moment. Wait, no, it looks like Divine was, or Zertan was able to get on the sacred site before Divine, so that sacred site does continue ticking. So now we're at a minute on this sacred site, slowly but steadily, and now eating into the reinforcement line. This is the worst place to be fighting up against Zertan with these Lancers, because these Lancers are just able to take out these units one by one by one. Two more Lancers over on that west side. He could have cleaned up the villagers if he wanted. Not even going to be able to find it. Vill's turning around, instead looking to take out the outpost. More Lancers now going to be rejoining. And I think Divine has decided, you know what? We're going to switch it up. We're going to try and take out this western sacred site villagers. He doesn't get the torches off. He manages to get the full rewall in. Outpost does have the emplacement on the inside. We have got an absolute thrilling game for you guys here today. This is incredible. I can't believe what we're witnessing here. It is absolute full feudal technology being thrown out the wazoo. He's got double the villager count. All the villagers go down on the outside. I didn't even see. Did he delete those villagers? Why are they all lying down? What happened right there that all those villagers just died in a heartbeat? I've got no idea. Meanwhile, towards that middle, once again, look at the Lancers just cleaning up everything. He's eating them alive, but there's still no... Oh my god, look at their mass. He's got 16 Lancers on the field. He's up against 26 Spearmen. The timer keeps ticking. It's at 5 seconds. I didn't even realize it's at 5 seconds and he got onto the sacred site first. 5 seconds. He's looking to try and neutralize the sacred site. Oh my lord, we are down to the wire right here. How does he possibly hold it? 22 minutes into the game, he's going to look to try and intercept reinforcements, but I feel like that might not be the play. The play is definitely to go for this sacred site. You can 100% do this. You've got significant number advantage. Why isn't he doing it? Does he not realize he's 5 seconds away from victory here? This is terrible, Zertan. You could have taken this easily. You had one Lancer for every Spearman that was out there. You could have eaten him alive, and now unfortunately he loses the sacred site. What are you doing, Zertan? Don't make me do it like this. I can't believe we're watching this game. No way. No way. There is no way Divine DFP wins this game because Zertan just simply decided he wasn't going to contest the sacred site. Are you serious right now, Zertan? You had that. You had that. And now Divine's just got a whole bunch of idle villagers out here, 25 villagers idle. So while that villager count might look threatening, just keep in mind, Zertan's got a number of things going for him. Number one, he's picked up 3 relics. There's 2 remaining on the map, one of which is the safe relic. Well, that's going to be going for him. The 2 sacred sites in his back pocket as well. Okay, don't fight him now. Don't fight. No, you're not fighting over anything right now. Stop it. Go back to your side of the map. And just chill out. Heal up your units. Wait for an Archibald to build up. Maybe get some elephants out. I don't know. Do your thing. But don't fight him right now. You're not fighting for anything, okay? Here we're fighting for a sacred site. I'm not fighting your spears for bloody nothing. Good. Get on out of here. Gosh. Oh, Zertan. I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe we're doing this. I'm going to have a Drongo to Zertan talk in a minute. I tell you what. We are witnessing... You know, often I feel like I say we're witnessing greatness, but here today we're witnessing madness. I can't believe it. This game it was resting on that single sacred site, and it was so close, but so far. I can't believe it. And it's one of those things where sometimes you see what they don't see. How intense was that? It was absolute insane how intense, well, insanity how intense that was. It was just ludicrous, the fights that we were getting. That was a non-stop fight for like, what, close to 7-8 minutes. The reinforcements, the central sacred site, the keep coming up, the loss of 17 villages. It was ludicrous. And yet still, some way, Zertan manages to keep his head above water in this game because I can't help but feel like it is only a matter of time until he's overwhelmed. But keep in mind, he still has victory on the cards. You've already seen it. It's the village fortress. Number 1 is up. He needs to be moving into more of them, though. I need to see multiple village fortresses coming up. You can't just be throwing down a single keep and going, yeah, well, this will do it. Okay, great. Second keep is coming up now over on this western sacred site. I'm loving it. My fear is that it's a little bit too late. It's almost like he's gone into too many knights. If he weren't going to use these knights to fight, then why did we even build them in the first place? I guess he was just a little bit apprehensive about taking this fight. I don't know. I want to know. Down in the comments below, let me know. Do you think Zertan would have won that fight? I am almost 100% sure he would have won it. Because he had outnumbered the spearmen, and that's never a good place to be when you've got, keep in mind, feudal spearmen. These are not castle age spearmen, these are feudal spearmen. So they are well and truly, you know, outdone, outclassed in my opinion. Anyway, beginning to move across the map now. Divine, he's looking to try and pick off a couple of villages maybe, looking to try and move towards, yeah, I think he's heading up towards that. No, never mind. All right, he's just doing his thing. I'm just going to let him do it. I'll let the man cook. Let's see what he's got in store for us. Plenty of spears now starting to come out. Expect to see maybe a couple of men-at-arms, but you got to be careful there as 2 lancers do go down. The one thing I'd love to see from Zertan just a little bit more of, scholars. Just a couple more scholars, all right? You've got plenty of scholar potential out here, but we just don't really see it. You've got a whole bunch of upgrades as well that can positively affect those. We see now swiftness is going to be coming through. I'm looking forward to that zeal upgrade, though. More of an Imperial Age upgrade, or not more of, it is an Imperial upgrade. So hopefully we get to see that come out today, but I don't know, it feels like Zertan's probably not going to be going to Imperial, or at least at this stage of the game, he's not really in the mood to be going Imperial Age, as, well, yeah, things aren't going the best for him. He's under attack from multiple angles. The east of his base, the north of his base. How did these units possibly get here? Zertan remains clueless. He's now looking to pick up that 4th relic. That'll be the final one for him. We can see he's actually got 2 in the bag. 3rd one still not brought in just yet. I don't even know where it is. It's going to be coming through shortly, surely. Still don't see it. He's holding it somewhere. Did he? Oh no, did he do them? Did he do the? Oh no, okay, he didn't. There's this, I don't know if the devs have fixed it, but there's this bug where basically you tell the scholars to put the relic inside the mosque, and it instead the scholar jumps inside the mosque, but it's holding the relic, and so the relic doesn't count, right? Like, it's still technically holding the relic. But Zhukunu now together with the spears. Spears do get their veterancy upgrade. Zhukunu not so much. Looks like he has finally picked that one up. A little bit of supervision, a little bit too late. And he will clean up towards the top side. Keep in mind, these archers will absolutely demolish through these spears. But the Montlu Academy was the way that he looked to age up on this south side. Siege Workshop now being supervised as well. Keep that in mind. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't tell me we're going to have a visit from Jason Statham. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse for Zertan, the beekeeper arrives on the field. He says, "This one's going to sting." What else? What are the taglines or the catch lines? It's so cringy. You've got to love it, right? Like, I didn't watch the movie. I just saw, you know, I think I was kind of in awe when I got the trailer for the movie. I was just like, I'm so in awe. I have to embrace this, right? Like, you've hit me with my targeted ads within seconds of me casting the beekeeper, and even right now, like, my iPhone's sitting in front of me, so I just know I'm about to get hit with another beekeeper ad. But speaking of getting hit, have a look at this. Spearman almost in perfect position. Unfortunately, the archers are still on their tail. Zertan is catching up on the village account. I just want you to remember, okay? Let's not discount the position of Zertan at all, because he does have the keeps online. The only trouble is the siege is also coming online for Divine. Archers looking to tee off on this front side. Might need to do a bit of a walla. There's the 4th relic. He was indeed hiding. All sacred sites once again captured, and we start to see court architects on the way through at the compound of the defender. He's opted for this. Look, it's going to take a while to get there. There are reasons why I advocate for scholars, and look, this is one of them. 14 minutes on Drongo. It was going to be 18 minutes, but fortunately, we're down to 14 minutes. It's not going to be that long, and I'm glad that he's got boiling oil in queue after the 20 minutes of upgrades. That's good. You know, boiling oil, not that important of an upgrade. You know, I'd hate to think we could be getting that earlier. But looks like the knights or lancers might be caught out of position here. The spears, he's going to pick a fight with them. Unfortunately, they get a nice little surround, and he's just going to throw away all of those lancers. You hate to see it. That's thousands of resources down the drain for what? A couple villages? You hate to see it. You really do. Second trap now coming out as well. Divine just absolutely mashing out a whole bunch of siege onto the field. Do we see a response coming through? It looks like it will be. Double Springalds coming out for Zertan. And the trouble, and this is the trouble that you've got, right, for the Delhi Sultanate. you make spring lords and you feel good about yourself because you're like, okay, well, I've got my spring lords out stronger. This is going to be fine. I can easily defend this. What happens when Divine goes Imperial Age? Because you know he's about to click up. Divine goes Imperial Age, he makes his own 2-3 spring lords, and then he gets roller shutter triggers. Do you know how long it's going to take you to get roller shutter triggers? I'm going to guess 18 minutes. No, I'm going to guess 12 minutes. Let's have a look. Roller shutter triggers. 6 minutes. There you go. I wasn't that far off. Only half or double. 6 minutes to get roller shutter triggers. You know what he's going to do? He's going to supervise his roller shutter triggers. It's going to take 24 seconds. This is not balanced for Imperial Age Delhi unless you play that scholar strategy. At least that's the way I feel. And I think Zertan's doing the right thing. He is very clearly just committing to a castle age at this stage. And I think that's the right call. I think you got to stay castle here. Just try and mass up even more springlords. But the trouble is, you're playing with fire. You're up against a civilization that excels when it comes to making siege. They just love it. They've got their nest of bees, so naturally they're going to be doing very, very well with their siege. And they want to protect those, so they're going to be investing in those springlords. But we don't see any out just yet. I take it back from Divine. We do see one, and now beginning to push forward. We do see 3 springlords looking to come up and one-shot a trebuchet. They should be able to do it as long as he's paying attention. Indeed, he's not. First springlord might actually go down. There's 2 trebs that go down. Won't be able to find the third one. You can see he's going to do that little shuffle forward. The springlord in placement just doing absolute work right now against Zertan. Imperial Age is through. Expect to see elite upgrades. Where are the elite upgrades? Excuse me. Crossbowmen? No? Palace Guards. It's got to be Palace Guards that he's gone elite upgrades for. Where are they? I didn't even see him. Look at the walls that are coming up. My lord, he's building an onion right now. Have a look at this. Tony Abbott, take note, my friend. You can get your mouth into that one. Far out. He's left the skin on and everything in that. Jeez, look at the walls. We are seeing... There's 4 layers of walls. 5 layers of walls. Look at these 2. These guys are enjoying the onions, but now the bombards are out, things are about to get serious. He's got the extra +1 range for the bombard as well. Divine defense going to help him out. Just keep him a little bit safer against those springlords over on the north side. Divine with his single bombard rolling in. Elite upgrades. Where are they at? Where the hood at? Where the elite upgrades at? Still no elite upgrades for any of these units. Divine, don't do me like this. You're a good player. You're not going to forget your elite upgrades. Look at the amount of resources he's got in the back. He doesn't even need it. He can just flood Palace Guards at this point. One thing to remember though, Palace Guards for the Jussi Legacy, not as strong as the Chinese Palace Guards. They don't have access to Battle Hardened. But Outpost is going to go up on this gold vein. Wants to try and secure a little bit of an area around here. Bombard and Trebuchet undoubtedly will be turning towards that position, looking to make sure that it is going to be in his control. You need to keep in mind that gold is going to become a real big factor at this stage of the game. 32 minutes through, and he's now looking for alternative sources. Still big gold's out on the map here for Zertan. Plenty of gold, in fact. But now at this stage of the game, both players are 120 vills. The tech advantage going to be sitting with Divine. Elite Palace Guards are through. Roller Shadow Triggers is through, as we suspected. And this is where it gets really, really tough for Zertan. Because if he wants to even try, he's going to have to click up to Imperial, and then he's going to have to wait. Oh, look at this. Oh, you hate to see this. Oh, you hate to see this. All the tier 2 eco upgrades only just coming through now for Zertan. Oh, he's forgotten. And to be honest, we'd forgotten to even click it. Look at them. Look at them. All the tier 1s. Meanwhile, his opponent's on tier 3. We've got some big upgrades coming through. Divine secures up the center. A little bit more gold. He's got the Imperial official out here. I'd love to see him pick up Cupellation just to extend this gold, the life on this gold a little bit longer. Remember, at 3.3k, I think it was, it pays itself off. So if you think you can get 3.3k gold, it's definitely worth it. Not to mention you got the Imperial official, so you're probably talking close to maybe 2.8, 2.7k. But Hussar Academy will come up now for Zertan. Definitely the right call to be making, but I can't help but feel it might be too late. Remember, it's going to be 6 minutes at least before those roller shutter triggers are through. And remember, that is one of the most, if not the most important upgrade there is when it comes to late game at the top level. You know, at the lower levels, upgrades like your enclosures are going to be really impactful just because you're going to be doing a lot of, you know, man fighting, men-at-arms versus men-at-arms, that sort of stuff. But at the top level, roller shutter triggers is what really matters because it comes down to micro. And now Zertan approaching that 200 population. His opponent already been sitting there for quite some time, starting to stack up the resources, building up a bank now of more than 4,000 resources. The landmarks are going to be starting to receive some pressure. Unfortunately, that Court Architect's just Too little, too late. Not going to be coming through. Not going to be helping out today. Bombard moving up together with that juicy siege. Elite upgrades are coming through as well. No elite spearmen just yet, but he does have the elite palace guards. Roller shutter triggers still not through. Keep that in mind. Zerton will be looking for it. It's going to take time. Oh, 2 minutes. He's built a whole bunch of scholars just for it. He's like, I need 11 scholars stat. And that's what he's done. Very smart move there. He's still going to have to wait 2 minutes for it. So he can't fight until the 2 minute mark. Because if he tries to push up, the problem he's going to have is the enemy's Springles, if he's paying attention, will be able to outrange him. But now, looking to enter into the battle. Holding on for dear life. The Springles move forward. You can see they're looking to try and... Oh, the damage from the top rope. Oh, you hate to see it. Jason Statham coming out of the beehive and looking to mess with anybody who gets in the way of the bees. Springles off the back. Look at the nest of bees. You got to appreciate how good this unit is. Hitting the center of mass on that. But now, you know, you've dealt with the bees. Now here come the wasp, because they move quickly. You know what I'm talking about. It's got to be those palace guards. Expect to see hordes of them coming across the field. Grenadiers? Grenadiers in 2024? Don't tell me it's happening. Keep coming up as well. We are starting to see the true Chinese late game unfolding. Zerton holding on for dear life. 35 minutes into this game, he is holding on by a thread. Veterans, he's still on these archers, not even clicking up to the elite upgrades, and it's not gonna matter. He says, Drongo, I'm done. I can't do it. He's just too strong. He's too good. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. It felt like he could have won early on, at least to me. I don't know about you guys, but I tell you what, that was an absolute blast of a game. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Go check them out. I'll leave links in the description, and of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.